Well, hello again, you rad raider, and welcome to part 2 of GameSpot's Destiny Raid Guide. In the first installment, we covered preparation strategy, loadout tips, and the first challenge you face when taking on the Vault of Glass. Did you hear the air quotes I just made there? That's because getting in the door was just a warm-up, Guardian. This next bit will test your team's mettle with new mechanics you haven't seen anywhere in Destiny before, and some weird enemy variants to go with them. Let the strategizing begin. First up, let's get the lay of the land. This video covers the 3-stage boss fight that ends with killing Sekrion's weirder, more successful older cousin, a robo-thingy called the Templar. The 3 stages of the battle all take place in the same area, so let's get set up. It helps to think of it as a horseshoe, as you'll mostly be taking up positions around the perimeter of the area. For the first bit, you'll be defending confluxes from steadily spawning Vex hordes. When you first leap down into the area, consider your landing point the base of the U-shape. Send 2 Guardians out to the left and 2 to the right. Their job will be to plug up the spawn points on either side and provide supplementary fire down into the middle area as needed. The remaining 2 Guardians hold the line at the base of the U and shred any robot that comes near. You'll be facing the familiar lineup of Vex dill holes, with the notable exception of these oozed-up teenage mutant ninja goblins called Fanatics. They aren't that hard to kill, but they leave these puddles of slime when they go down, and you do not want to touch those. Kill Fanatics ASAP, and if you run low on ammo, don't be tempted to dip a toe in the goo for some pickups. Either use those ammo syntheses you bought, or wait until the goo disappears to make your mad dash. If you do get doused in Ecto Cooler completely by accident, I'm sure, surprise! You now have the Mark of Negation. It sounds kind of like a sick emblem you could buy from the speaker in the tower, but no, it's basically one of those exploding collars from Battle Royale. The Templar can now blow you up at any time. Speaking of whom, you may have noticed that he's there, but he's like super shielded. Good noticing. Don't shoot him, don't get near him, just don't worry about him until later. Worry instead about your Mark of Negation and book it immediately to the glowing white circle of cleansitude that lies in the center of your U-shaped formation. Hop in there and, your bomb collar gets removed, freeing you up to continue killing all them Vex. Track the conflux when it changes position, use your void damage fusion rifle on Minotaurs, and kill anything that moves until the phase ends. Nice work! You've reached a mid-battle checkpoint, so take a breath, give yourself a pat on the back.
That was a trick! Do not remove your hands from the controller, you've still got 2 more stages to go!
Okay, in the second bit, you don't have to worry about the Fanatics anymore. Instead, you have to worry about Oracles. These floating, stationary glow blobs appear regularly, and if you don't kill them immediately, they'll put the Mark of Negation whammy on everyone, and you'll all have to rush into the center of the map for a cleanse. The keys to this phase are recognizing where the Oracles spawn, covering all those spawn points, and trying not to get sniped by the goddamn hobo goblins that are basically always hounding your asses from afar. So, retaining your general U-shaped position should give you solid coverage on the spawn points. There are 2 on the upper right platform, 1 down in the valley as you head back towards the bottom of the U, a few scattered around the U's base, another in the opposite valley en route back to the top left end of the U, and 1 up near the left side spawn point at the top of the U. Divide up the spawn locations amongst your teammates, and whenever you hear that telltale chime, check your assignments. Getting marked is dangerous because your whole formation collapses instantly as everyone rushes to get cleansed. If someone goes down, you need to have a backup covering their oracles until they can be revived. Again, vocal communication is key.
Oh, oracles up. 1 by me, one near G, that front spot.
Yep, I see it. We got it.
Don't be discouraged if you experience a fire team wipe or 3 before you get it down. But once you get it down, congrats! You've hit another checkpoint, and we're on to the toughest, weirdest thing you've done in Destiny yet. The third bit of this fight is when you actually get to kill the Templar, all while still dealing with oracles and killing a bunch of harpies. However, the magical kiddie pool of cleansitude is now gone. So, if you get marked for negation by the oracle, there's only one thing that can save you: the relic. Behold, the relic. It may look like one of those arts and crafts projects you make with popsicle sticks and yarn, but it is actually a magical smash attacky thing that lets its wielder cleanse allies, shred harpies, and take down the Templar's shield. Oh, and if you drop it by dying, everybody gets killed if it isn't picked up in like 4 seconds. So the relic is a really big deal. Pick your franchise player to be the relic bearer, ideally one of the highest level players on your fire team. The relic bearer's primary job is to use the relic to destroy harpies using the R2 shield bash maneuver, or doing the leap smash area damage version of this attack by jumping first. Each harpy killed builds the super meter to enable the relic bearer's new super, which is a shield-breaking supernova blast thingy. This means that the relic bearer should be running around near the enemy spawn points on the left and right sides of the old U formation, killing the crap out of harpies. Meanwhile, the 5 remaining players need to adjust their positions so they can continue to eliminate oracles as quickly as they spawn. If you miss an oracle and get Mark of Negationized, everyone needs to run to the relic bearer immediately to receive the cleanse they can do by charging L1 briefly. Otherwise, everyone should just be busy killing some harpies, but not so many harpies that there aren't enough for the relic bearer to reap the harvest and charge the super. Once the super is charged, the relic bearer should announce as much to the team and get ready to take down the Templar's shield.
Shield's coming down. Go. We're doing really good right now, guys. We're doing really good. Just don't get frustrated with Detain.
Everyone else needs to A, finish killing oracles if they're up, and B, position themselves to fire on the boss. When the shield goes down, it's time to deal some serious damage, but there's a twist. Yes, another one. No, I don't know why they packed all the twists into this one raid. Yes, it is a pain in the ass. When the shield comes down, the Templar will hit anyone in line of sight with something called Detain. If this happens, you've basically been pokeballed and have to shoot your way out. Do not try to walk out of it because you'll take a lot of damage and probably die. Instead, empty your primary weapon's clip into the bubble to break it, then switch to your special or heavy weapon to whammy the boss. And a note to those who brought a rocket launcher along, fire that thing inside Detain and you will die. While you're hitting the Templar as hard as you can, the only other thing you have to worry about is teleporting. Towards the end of its no-shield phase, a glowing ring will appear on the map indicating the Templar's teleport location. You can get up in that ring and stop the teleport, but if you don't quite make it in time, the Templar will blast you, and if you do make it in time, it spawns a Minotaur that's just a pain in the ass. Better to just get clear of the teleport zone and avoid the Templars bombarding fire, resume killing oracles and harpies, and wait for the next cycle. And that's really what this fight is about. Nailing the cycle, then doing it again and again and again. The relic bearer needs to be fast with the harpy killing, and you need to be on point with the damage dealing, because if you don't cycle quickly enough, you risk triggering the Templar's enrage timer. Basically, about 8 minutes in, the Templar gets super pissed and starts spawning Minotaurs and Goblins and such. If its health is really low, enrage doesn't mean the end of your run, but you'd better make it quick. Learn the cycle, repeat the cycle, perfect the cycle, and you too will have this moment.
Eat it! Yeah! All right.
Eat it!
Final shot. I got the final shot. Not to brag.
The feeling of exultant success when you take that robo-bastard down is a great reward. Of course, there are also tangible rewards that pop into your inventory the minute that Boss Bot goes down. And better yet, there are loot chests in your immediate future. Next up on GameSpot's Tremendo Raid Guide video series for great looting success. We show you how to overcome platforming challenges and weird new enemy variants to pick up not 1, but 2 loot chests. Then it's off through the maze that'll take us to the climactic final encounter.